All right, so you're a developer in South Africa and you've got to pick a payment gateway. It feels like a total minefield, right? Well, that's what we're here to fix. We're going to cut through all the marketing fluff and give you a straight-up guide to making the right call for your project. Let's get into it. This right here, this is the absolute heart of the matter. We get so obsessed with that single moment, when the payment goes through. But honestly, that's the easy bit. The real headaches, the stuff that keeps you up at night, that all happens after the money's been taken. So let's talk about what those real problems actually are. These are the things that no salesperson will ever mention, but they'll pop up and bite you the second you go live. I mean, just imagine it. Your drivers are waiting for their money, but the payouts are late. Or you wake up to a massive chargeback that just tanks your balance. Maybe your big launch gets stuck for a week because you're missing some KYC document, the Know Your Customer paperwork. Or the classic nightmare, a webhook goes missing, so your system never actually marks an order as paid. Total chaos. That stuff, that is your real payment gateway experience. So here's the big mental shift I want you to make. Just stop. Stop trying to find the one perfect forever and ever gateway. It's way too much pressure. The real goal is just to pick the gateway that's right for you right now, for the next 3, maybe 6 months. See? Suddenly the decision feels so much smaller and way more manageable. So to help you make that short-term choice, we're going to look at 4 of the big players in SA. And instead of a boring feature list, let's think of them as having their own unique personalities. It makes it way easier to figure out who you'll get along with. First up, we've got Payfast. Think of Payfast as the Swiss Army knife. It's the all-rounder. If you need to accept cards, instant EFT, all that jazz, and you want to do it without writing a ton of code, this is probably where you're going to start. Then you've got Paystack. Now, this one is for the coders. It's built API first, which basically means it's designed for you to get your hands dirty and build really custom stuff. If your whole business is built on subscriptions or you're doing complex marketplace splits, Paystack is made for that. And then there's Yoco. Yoco is all about one thing: simplicity. If all you need is to start taking card payments as fast and as painlessly as humanly possible, Yoco is laser-focused on giving you that super smooth, no friction on-ramp. And finally, we have Peach Payments. These guys are the heavy hitters, the enterprise option. If you're already doing serious volume or you're planning to scale big time, they're built for it. The only catch? The setup is a bit more corporate, a little more formal, so you gotta be ready for that. Okay, remember that problem with late payouts? Well, here's exactly why it happens. This isn't just a technical detail, this is your cash flow. With Payfast, you literally have to go in and pull your money out yourself and they take a fee. Yoco and Paystack are much quicker, sending it to you automatically in a couple of days. Peach on their standard plans pays out weekly. You have to know this stuff. Okay, so we've met the players. Now for the big question. How do you actually choose? Let's make this really, really simple. Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters, right? What does your project need right now? So just ask yourself, which one of these sounds the most like what you're trying to build? Let's just run through it. If you're thinking, I need lots of payment options, but I don't want to code for a month, well, Payfast is probably your guy. If you're saying, give me an API, I need total control for my subscription model, then you're looking right at Paystack. If it's just, I need to take cards like yesterday, then Yoco is your fastest path. And if you're planning for huge volume, then Peach Payments should be on your list. Simple as that. So you've probably got a front runner in mind. But hold on. Don't just sign the contract. You need to validate that choice. And here's your mission should you choose to accept it. A simple test plan you can knock out in 1 week. Look, this is super doable. Days 1 and 2, just sign up and get your test keys. Then, for the next couple of days, build the simplest possible Hello World payment. Not a fancy UI, just prove you can make a charge. Now here's the important part. Spend the next days testing the hard stuff. Can you actually get their webhooks? Do they work? Does their subscription API make sense? By the end of the week, you'll know for sure who to go with. And to make that week a success, you have to be disciplined. We are testing the engine, not polishing the chrome. You absolutely must test if their webhooks work, how you process a refund, and what a failed payment looks like. But please, do not waste a single second on making the UI pixel perfect or handling a million edge cases. Focus on the boring, critical plumbing. All right, let's start bringing this all home. I really want to hammer home that one big idea from the start, because it's the most important thing you'll hear today. Please, tattoo this on your arm if you have to. Just because your code works in their little test sandbox, that means almost nothing. The real tests, the things that cause all the pain, happen in the real world. It's things like getting your business verified through their KYC process, or getting your first actual payout, or seeing if your webhook server can handle real traffic. The sandbox is just a warm-up. So to recap everything: 1. Pick for the short term, not forever. 2. If you're doing subscriptions, choose very, very carefully because they're a nightmare to move. 3. Use their hosted checkout page. It's the fastest way to avoid the headache of PCI security compliance. And 4, don't forget that figuring out how to balance your books, reconciliation, is just as critical as taking the money in the first place. And that's it. So I'll leave you with this final thought, which is really a call to action. You have the framework now. You probably have an idea of who you want to try, so the question isn't some big, scary, abstract thing anymore. It's simple. It's practical. What will you test this week?